Sisterhood, Inc. Where do I start with this one? Okay, I can respect Hallmark for trying to be a little creative and wanting to try new things with their movies. And this movie was definitely different. But was it a good move? I'm not so sure. Heck, I'm not even convinced this was about a romance. Not really. It was definitely campy. So, writing up a review, it was a little more challenging, but I'm giving it my best shot, so let's dive right in and get started. Hi, I'm Stephanie and welcome to the Magical Movie Club. This last week on Hallmark Channel, we watched Sisterhood, Inc., starring Rachel Leigh Cook, Daniella, Monet, and Leonidas Gulaptis. I hope I said that right. The movie opens in a montage showing us the stark contrast between the two sisters, Megan and Izzy. Keys. Let's start with Megan. She's a hardworking, driven character who keeps a tight schedule accounting for every hour of the day.
Magazine will be here at 9, your lunch is confirmed, and it's Randall Cole's birthday.
Now, there's a reason for that. She's the founder and CEO of an app-based company called Be Scheduled.
It isn't just a calendar app, it's a lifestyle tool.
Well, she was, until she was abruptly fired.
No longer validate. Okay, so there.
She certainly handled that gracefully. Izzy is just the opposite. Let's see, she's immature, irresponsible.
Is anybody up? I lost my keys at the club.
Nearly 30 years old and still living at home with no plans for her life. She delivers pizzas and isn't even any good at doing that.
And no sampling the merchandise.
So, the dynamic between these two. Megan is embarrassed by her mother and her sister.
You're completely codependent and you have no ability to take care of yourself.
Avoids them as much as possible.
No, it's my mom. Nope.
You have a mom?
Yeah.
And when we meet her, it's almost understandable.
I just thought you might look a little more depressed.
Well, thanks, Mom.
It's at this dinner, though, that the idea for the premise of this movie is formed.
If you let me, I could turn your life right around. I would run it like a corporation and you...
The next morning, Izzy pays Megan a visit and agrees to turn her life over to her.
I'm freaking out. I need your help.
There is a lot of cocktail involved in that. Cocktail?
Clearly, Izzy is not happy with her life and desperate for help.
Like, what if you built like a little board of directors thingy?
Now, the initial idea of Izzy asking for help from her big sister is not a bad one.
A team of people to guide you, set you up for success.
And getting help from some others? Fine. The problem is, Megan is completely oblivious to other people and her surroundings.
Hey!
Remember, she was also completely caught off guard by being fired? So here's how it all went. Megan selects members of the board. They first assess where Izzy is now.
How do you do your taxes?
Frank, doesn't the cash register at work just add that automatically?
He means income.
Clean out her closet.
Classic, in a retro way. We keep.
And does anyone notice these skates have never been worn? Anyway, next Izzy gets a new wardrobe. They discuss a new career for her.
I present Izzy's career options.
Now, Dominic, the psychologist, tries to involve Izzy by asking her what brings her joy.
Nope, she's had enough joy. That's why we're all here.
So Megan finds her a job as a receptionist at an art gallery.
Sorry, Mom. I have to take this really seriously.
And then they tackled her love life by trying to match her up with someone. Well, not really. Megan and Dominic aren't even discussing anything about Izzy at all in this moment.
Sense of humor is a must. And they should also be at least a little bit handy, like...
Megan also rents out a new apartment for Izzy to move out of their parents' home. Finally.
No way, as in I can't afford this.
See? I practiced.
All in all, she makes all of these decisions without listening to Izzy. Plus, on the side, she begins a project to market the idea.
To impact every bucket of her life. Career, relationship, appearance.
So far, there's nothing particularly likable about either of these characters. So, As we neared the end, Izzy fell back into her old habits.
I can see that. Who is this?
Oh, I'm Woody. Short for Woody.
And why did she throw a party?
Actually, no, this is to celebrate that I quit my gallery job.
Oh, and when the press release came out about Megan's capitalizing on this new life transformation app that's all about Izzy, which she never even told Izzy about.
And what does Izzy think?
Oh, I mean, we're still in the talking concept stage.
Yeah, that was the big crisis at the end.
Excited? Yeah, no, you used me.
But hey, suddenly Izzy remembers she used to be happy in her old life.
I might be a disaster, but I'm a happy disaster.
Wait, when exactly was that?
Like an inside voice kind of a way.
You were right. I am almost 30. I'm freaking.
You know, on a side note, I'm hesitant to bring up Bill Cosby because I know Bill Cosby the man turned out to be a nightmare. But The Cosby Show was brilliant, and there's this one scene with Theo that I've never forgotten. It might have even been the pilot episode. You see, Theo gave a long monologue about why it's okay to be essentially lazy and mediocre and get terrible grades in school, and this was his dad's reaction.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Which is exactly how I felt about Izzy. Now, ultimately, she did try a couple new things, and Megan learned to not be quite so controlling.
I tried to change you, and I absolutely never should have done that.
They even threw Izzy a fun birthday party for her 30th. And that was pretty much it. Of course, they did put Dominic and Megan together, but for me, that was always a weird pairing.
All of our hard work, poof, it's gone.
Well, maybe Izzy's just being true to her own nature.
So, besides the storyline, some issues I have with this movie, the dialogue.
I'm focusing on maximizing our ROI.
I won't wear camping clothes.
I felt like the script was written with a laugh track in mind.
Izzy, you're very smart.
I got a negative on my SAT.
Every line felt like it was intended to be a punchline, and it was too campy.
The accountant. Dark Lord of Numbers.
So there was nothing natural about any of the relationships, and it certainly was not a romance movie, not even close.
She's like a supermodel.
The only scenes worth watching, in my opinion, were those involving Dominic or maybe Curtis.
Well, like my mom always says, you need to go find your smile.
I kind of like those two characters. But if you look this one up on the Hallmark Movie Checklist app, Leonidas Gulaptis is not even listed under the cast. That kind of supports my suggestion that this was not a romance movie, and it is certainly not one I plan to watch again. Honestly, I would give it a 1.5 out of 5 or a 3 out of 10, which is not good. It's sitting at a 5.9 on IMDb, which is about what I would expect. From what I've seen, anything in the 5s is not really worth a rewatch. And as I said before, I think it's great that Hallmark is trying some new ideas. They've made so many movies over the years, I sometimes like fresh ideas. Unfortunately, this one was a swing and a miss. At least it was for me. And on that note, I think that wraps up my review of Sisterhood, Inc. Next up, Hallmark is starting off a whole new month of royal-themed movies. And personally, I love a good royal movie. So I'll be watching and discussing The Royal We, starring Mallory Jansen from Paging Mr. Darcy, next week. Until then, and as always, thank you so much for being a part of the Magical Movie Club. If you like this too and want to see more, please let me know by hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, I have links to the preview video as well as the movie page for more details about Sisterhood, Inc. in the description below. I'll be back next week to chat more about our favorite magical movies.
Well, I don't know anything about art.
Oh, don't worry, honey, nobody does.